Please mark your attendance, team. We are working on the profile options, right?
Yes, sir.
And yesterday we discussed about supplier communication related profile options. And the two profile options related to supplier email communication. Sorry, two profile options are related to supplier B2B communication. And I think five profile options are related to automatic email communication. Right? Here it is. Enabling the supplier communication. And you can directly send emails to the supplier, or you can overwrite to your email ID. And from your email ID, you can forward to supplier. What should be the from email ID? And the from email ID can be overridden with a specific email address instead of buyer email ID or instead of application URL. You can override with a specific email address also. That is one more profile option we discussed on the supplier communication. And then B2B related profile options also we discussed. B2B related. What are those? One is, do you want to send attachments? Sending attachments as part of the electronic communication, right? Sending attachments and convert
Yes,
BA
sir.
publisher, convert BA publisher PO PDF in XML format. Okay, so this is also one more profile option we discussed in the B2B communication. Okay. Okay, and these three profile options are related to DFF. These three are related to DFF. And you can create DFF in the requisition screen. And when you enter something here, suppose later you create a purchase order, DFF1 and DFF2. So whatever the value that you entered, I mean, you can, in case you created same DFF in the requisition and in the PO screen, whatever the value that you entered here, okay, what are the value that you entered here, that will be automatically copied to the purchase order. That will be, suppose you entered something here, okay, that will be automatically copied to the purchase order. So this is nothing but copying the DFF. This is nothing but copying the DFF value information from requisition to the purchase order. These three profile options. So this is to copy the requisition header information to the purchase order header. You see here, enable descriptive flex equals to be copied from requisition to the purchase order. So this is distribution level. Let me first show you the header level. In the requisition, you have different screens, nothing but you have a header screen, and you have line screen, and you have distribution screen also. You have distribution screen also. So in case, if you have created DFF on the header level, that DFF values can be copied to the purchase order header. And if you created line level DFF, that values can be copied to the purchase order line level DFF, and similarly with the distribution level also. So these three profile options, if you see here, this is header level, HDR. In the profile option, if you see HDR, that is header level. Enable descriptive flexibles to be copied from requisition header to the corresponding purchase order header when creating the new purchase order. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is for the header level, and then line level. If you want to copy requisition line information to the PO line information for the DFF, you can enable as for the line also. And in the profile option, if you see line, that is for the line. Okay. And next is for the distribution. In case of distribution, it is not specified anything like distribution. But if you see this profile option is for the distribution. So enable descriptive flexibles to be copied from requisition distribution to the corresponding purchase order distribution. Okay. These three profile options are related to copy. Clear?
Sir, what is distribution, sir?
It's a screen, sir. Like header, line, and then distribution, it's a screen.
Okay.
In the supplier level, we have supplier screen, supplier site level screen, supplier contact screen is there, right?
Yeah.
Like that. In the requisition, header level, line level, distribution level, three sections are there.
Okay.
You can create DFF in this section. You can create DFF here also. You can create DFF here also. Whatever the DFF that you created, and if you enter the value at the requisition level, that value is automatically copied to the purchase order. At the purchase order level, you need not to enter. It will be automatically copied.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And here DFF, you can create based on the client requirement. Okay. Whatever the client asked you to create, the DFF you can create. And in the supplier level, we have seen a couple of examples also in the supplier screen. We created a couple of DFF. I'm totally disappointed with today's strength. What is today's strength?
17.
Excluding me, 16. As if like students are feeling like in the other 5 days, right? From Monday to Friday, they did a really great job. And they're not attending Saturday classes, and Sunday, of course, they won't attend. As if like in the remaining 5 days, we did really a great job. If you really did a great job from Monday to Friday, yes, take off on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, absolutely fine. Faculty is committed. Nowadays, students are not committed. Students are not finding the time at all. Very busy. If I skip Saturday classes also, when our batch will completing? If I took only 5 days session, Monday to Friday, you tell me when this much portion is going to be completed. This batch strength 53. Sorry to say like this team. Okay, this is my personal feeling, not only my feeling, even the I know a lot of institutes in the market, and my friends are also faculties. The feeling of other faculties also same like me only. We are in teaching from almost, I think, more than 10 years. We are into teaching. But we are not liking the current generation. And our days are like, not only I'm not talking about me, other people also. We used to show a lot of hard work. But nowadays, people are not having the concentration, patience, and focused mind that's missing with this current generation. I'm observing from 3 to 4 years. I don't know what is happening. Where this generation is going towards, I'm not understanding. It's the same feeling with other of my friends also. People are not having knowledge at all, but they're expecting good jobs and good packages. The moment they call us, sir, if we put 4 years experience, we can we get more than 15 lakhs package? Okay, expectation, okay, you have to work towards your expectation. But expectation is there, but people are not showing the commitment to reach that expectation. Everybody is having some expectation. Good job, good packages, but they are not showing commitment at all. You people are changing the faculty mindset. The interest levels of the faculties are coming down nowadays. If there is a good student, then only the faculty can, I mean, good students in the sense committed student. If there is a committed student, faculty also can transform him. It could be in any area. If you go to gym, if you're not committed in the gym, how faculty can transform your body? I'm sorry, trainer. How a trainer can transform your body if you're not committed? The trainer is going to see you in the gym for 1 hour. After 1 hour, after completing your workout, you have to have good sleep and you should take good food. If you take good food, if you have to take the protein food if you go to gym. If you don't take protein food, then whatever the faculty taught you in that 1 hour is waste. I'm explaining every field, every profile option, and even though a profile option is having some background, I'm explaining that background also. I don't know what to do. One of my friend recently, I think last week I visited him. His comment, okay, see his comment. This is his first comment. Immediately after 2 minutes, he changed this comment. one of my friend recently commented. Understood the difference?
Still, they are not using the brain.
Not using, they now started using.
Started using, correct.
They now started using. That's his comment. Because we see a lot of people, lot of students, and he's running a company. In his company, 100 employees are there. 100 employees are there. 100 employees are there in his company. And this is the comment that he is giving. After 2 minutes, he immediately changed his first comment. Only expectation this generation is having. What is the problem attending Saturday class? I'm sorry. I'm losing myself. Okay, so this profile option is because why that company owner commented like this? Because if he has to grow means he need to have good employees. He need to have committed employees. He's not finding that people at all. How a startups, how a small companies are going to grow big? They grow big if they, if the employees are committed and their management is also should be in a good direction also. Both should be there. They're already they're already into the industry from 25 years. They're running the same business from 25 years. They're running the same company from 25 years. They're not new to that business also. But recently, because of the worst people, they're unable to be in the market. Worst employees, worst staff. Okay, so this profile option is nothing but, in case if you have access to multiple business units and you are the buyer and you have access to US BU, UK BU and India BU, but what is your favorite BU? What is your favorite BU? That you can select here, the favorite BU, okay? So this profile option is control at which level? See, user level. So some profile options are control at user level also. So when I select user, I should enter the username. I should enter the username. This is the user that we are using, right? That one who created, or this is our business user.
First one,
Shankar.
First one, huh?
Shankar, yeah. One.
One
First
or
one, sir. One.
First one. First one.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and I have access to, let us assume I have access to multiple business units. I'm a procurement agent, I'm a buyer for multiple business units. But this is my favorite BU. This is my favorite BU. Okay, nothing but specify the default procurement business unit for a procurement agent. So if you enter this BU as your favorite BU, when you open any screen, by default it will display this BU. by default, and you can change to other BU also, like US BU or UK BU, other BU you can change, but this is your default and favorite BU. Okay. So this is the default profile option. And there is one more default profile option is there. Default document type. So this default document type is nothing but, I think you remember I covered this. While converting the requisition into purchase order, okay, we have something called a document builder. I covered this, okay. Some of you all also practiced, because when I'm reviewing your practice status, the requisition you converted into purchase order. When you're converting the requisition into purchase order using document builder functionality, okay, you are selecting an option called whether you want to create a, you want to create a new PO, or whether you want to add to the existing PO. I mean, you can add to the existing PO also. You want to add to the existing PO, or you want to create a, negotiation. Negotiation in the sense you don't want to create a PO. You would like to do the bidding process. Nothing but the requisition you can convert into new PO. The requisition you can add to the existing PO, and from the requisition you can create a new quotation. Nothing but new bidding process also you can do it. So this document builder, so these three options are there, right? Out of these three, which one should be defaulted? Which one should be defaulted? Okay, you can select here. So this profile option is also controlled at user level, and I'm selecting my user. And out of those three profile options, you see here, which is your favorite or default option. I'm selecting new order. That means the moment when I click on document builder, what is the value that is defaulted? What is the value that is defaulted? New order, nothing but new PO.
New purchase order.
New purchase order. Clear? So two
Krishna,
default.
what is a new planned order, Krishna, from the drop down?
It's a new functionality recently given.
Okay.
From the requisition, I think you believe a planned order can be created. So this planned order is nothing but it's related to the planning.
Mm-hmm.
It's related to the planning. I have to give you some background to explain you that. So in case of planning model, you have a demand and then you have a supply. Okay. Suppose if your demand is 2000 and if your supply is 1500, what is the gap here?
500.
For the gap, application will create a planned order. Okay. So this is the, this is the functionality of the planning modules. What planning modules does is, planning modules collects the demand in the application, and it will also collect the supply information. For the gap, system will recommend the planned order. Okay. Now planner, I'm the planner. So what I do is I'm gonna cross check the system recommended demand and system recommended supply, and then system recommended planned order. I'll cross check. If I feel, this planned order is properly generated, all the data is accurate, then what I do is the planner is going to release, this to actual order. Actual order in the sense, suppose if it is a make item, the planner is going to release it to work order. Suppose if it is a buy item, yeah, he will release it to the requisition.
Okay.
Okay. But
Okay.
I'm not sure, if you select the new planned order, how system will work. I'm not sure, because it's a recent option given there. Okay.
Okay, Krishna.
I have not explored that.
Okay.
But this is nothing but the planned order. And the planner can ignore this also. If the planner thinks not required, he can ignore this recommendation. This is system recommendation. The system recommendation can be converted into the actual order. Otherwise, the planner can ignore this also. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the, in 5 minutes, this is the purpose of the planning modules. Okay. In Fusion, what are the planning modules? The planning module in Fusion currently available is supply planning. The module name is supply planning. Okay.
Okay.
Next, we discussed about 2 default profile options. Okay. And I remember one more default profile option is also there. That is category. That is category. So generally in big companies, the buyers are specified to buy certain type of products in big companies. So suppose you are specialized in buying electronic related products. I am specialized in buying pharma related products because I'm into the industry from many years and I know pharma suppliers and I'm specialized in that. And you are into the industry from many years, you are specialized in buying the electronic related products. So in big companies, in small companies, you know, 1 buyer or 2 buyers will take care of purchasing different items, different category of products. But in big companies, they are exclusively dedicated to buy their related category of items only. Okay. Suppose in case, you know, if you are specifically, allocated to buy certain category of products, then what is your favorite category that can be entered over here? What is your favorite category? Okay. So this profile option is given, but I never experienced the real usage of this profile option because it is saying, you know, it will allow you to add your default browsing and or item category. You see here, which is used to filter the data when you are accessing the procurement dashboard. Okay. So when I say procurement dashboard, let me show you the screen. What is the latest instance? Dev 27. Is the latest instance is Dev 27, the demo one.
Krishna, 90 and 27. 90. 27 is latest.
It's Dev 27 only.
Yeah, I'm going to the home screen of the Casey Brown. This Casey Brown is a procurement agent and he has access to the procurement operations. So when I click on the procurement and when I click on the purchase order, so the first screen that is called as a dashboard. The first screen that you land into the purchase order area, that's a dashboard. In the dashboard, you see the infolets. This is dashboard. So the screen will take some time to load completely because it is loading the data related to the infolets. If any business users complains about performance issue of this page, then you can ask that business users to inactivate these infolets from here. Because it is trying to load the data, that's what will take time. So if they don't want, you know, this much time, I mean, if they're not okay, then you can ask them to. So these are the infolets. And if you click on this icon, you see here all the infolets are enabled. You can ask them to disable whichever the infolets are not required for them so that it will increase the loading speed. Okay. And these infolets are nothing what you see here. What are the rejected purchase orders? what are the rejected purchase orders, and what are the purchase orders that is failed for submission, incomplete purchase orders, and how many requisition lines that are waiting you to process into purchase order. How many requisition lines that are waiting for you to process into purchase orders, and how many requisition lines are unprocessed. Nothing but from the last 3 days, the blue color ones, from the last 3 days, you have not processed some lines. From 4 to 7 days, some lines you are not processed. Over for 14 days, some lines are waiting to be processed. Okay, so these are infolids. And if you see here, there are 11 POs are there which are in open status, and one PO which is in closed for receiving status. One PO. Is there any POs are on hold? No, nothing is on hold because there is no red color here. Okay. And this is pending acknowledgement is nothing but supplier acknowledgement. Any POs that are pending from supplier acknowledgement. Okay. Recent activity is nothing but in case if you recently performed some transaction, that will be displayed here. Recent activity. So these are different infolids are there. Okay. So these infolids data, by default, it will show you for your default category that you selected here. So that is what the explanation of this profile option you see here. Allow procurement agent to designate a default browsing category or item category user to filter data when they access procurement dashboard. Okay, clear? So here you can enter the browsing category or you can enter the item category here. This is third default profile option. Okay. And so far, I'm explaining like I'm grouping and I'm explaining these profile options. Instead of explaining in a sequence, I'm grouping and then explaining in an order. First, I explained about automatic communication profile option. Later, B2B related communication profile options. Okay. B2B related 2 are there. Okay. And then copy related, how many profile options are there? Copy related, how many are there?
2, sir.
3.
Sir.
3. Yes.
Copy related 3 are there. Okay.
Header lines.
And then supplier communication related 4 profile options are there. Okay. And default. So 3 profile options are related to default. Okay. What is default? BU defaulting. And then in the document builder, what option you want to default? That is one thing. That is another profile option. And then category default. So the category default, it could be your browsing category or it could be your item category when you are accessing the procurement dashboard infolids. Okay. So there are 3. This is how you have to read and you have to remember also, so that it is very easy for you to remember these profile options. Okay. And next we'll discuss about generic profile options. So I think I covered what is ASL, right? ASL is a screen where you can maintain the approved suppliers for the item. Okay. And enable validation for blanket purchase agreement submission to verify the supplier is approved for the ordered item or not. We discussed about BPA and we discussed about ASL. Okay, before you create an agreement with that supplier, the supplier should be an approved supplier in the ASL screen. Okay, if you select SE here, before you create an agreement, you should create a ASL setup for that supplier. That supplier should be approved in the ASL screen. Then only you are allowed to create an agreement, blanket purchase agreement. Now you read the sentence. Now read the sentence. Clear? It's a validation. Before you create an agreement, it's a validation whether ASL, nothing but the supplier is approved for the item or not. Okay. If you want to enforce that, I don't want to enforce that. I don't want to enforce that. Okay. Now this is requested date delivery validation. So to explain you this, suppose you created a BPA, okay, an agreement. It could be BP or CPA. You create an agreement. It could be BP or CPA. Okay, and in the agreement, the effective dates starts from today, 22nd July, 22nd July, and till 31st December 23. What is the agreement period? This current year, right? Right?
Yes, Krishna.
Yes, Krishna.
And after that, I create a PO. Okay, I'm creating a PO on, let us assume I'm creating a PO on PO creation date is 31st December 2023 creation date. But in the PO, I mentioned the delivery date. I mentioned the delivery date as next year. You're creating PO within the agreement time only, but you see the delivery date, it's next year. Okay. Nothing but after the agreement time. So you see here, enable validation for purchase order submission to verify the requested delivery date is within the source agreement effectivity dates or not. If you select S, this will not allow. This will not allow because you're validating, you're controlling. If you select no, it will allow. It will allow. You're not validating, you're not enforcing that validation. Understood?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
And there are under 3 profile options are there. So this is a recent profile option only, because how you can see if it is a recent or not. If you go to about this record, you can see the creation date. You see when this is last year, right? August 2000.
22.
22.
Let me select this. Okay, it's a last year feature, and this is actually rounding. This is rounding feature. Okay, precision is nothing but rounding feature. After dot, it should be rounded to two digits or 3 digits. This is actually rounding profile option, but I don't know where it will round. Okay, because I never used this profile option. I think right what is rounding.
Yes, sir.
Suppose
Yes, Krishna.
if you have like this, so 4 digits are there. It should be rounded to how much? If you say it should be rounded to 2 digits, means it's going to be 57. Correct? Precision rounding.
Yes.
That is the profile option of that. But where, I don't know where that is rounded, in which screen, what it will round. It's not. I need to explore that. And another 3 profile options, 2 profile options are there. This is about upload, bulk upload. So load items in all languages. Controls the process of replicating agreement line attribute values into multiple languages when uploading purchase agreement lines. So this is in case of bulk upload. Agreements, blanket purchase agreement, you can create manually. Blanket purchase agreement, you can upload also. When you're uploading, if you want to, replicate that into multiple languages, this profile option is used. But this is rarely used profile option because generally across the globe, English is used. So we normally upload our item description, our items into the English only. Okay. But in case, if you need a different language, okay, and if you need, if you want the application to replicate that into different languages, then I think you have to select these two yes. Okay. Nothing but when you're uploading, the item description generally is in the English language. Okay. If you want to replicate that in other languages, then you have to use this profile option. But when I say other language, you want to replicate that in Chinese or Spanish or French, which language? I don't know where that setup is. Okay, but this setup is linked to upload the agreements in other languages. But I don't know where you select that replication. I think, but it has to replicate in which language. I don't know about it. This is also related to upload, agreement upload only. You see here, agreement loader commit size, agreement loader purge days. Okay. So this is also improves the performance of the blanket purchase agreement upload. Okay, these two profile options. But they are not really that important. That's why I'm not covering. And even I have not used these profile options. Okay. So with this, I covered all the profile options. And also, if you observe my explanation, I covered from important to the unimportant profile options. First, I covered important profile options and easiest profile option. Later, I covered unimportant profile options. Clear? Any questions in these profile options, please? So please understand the significance and importance of these screens, because if you observe, I spent a lot of time in the requisition business function options, procurement business function options, on the purchasing profile options. I spent almost 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Why I spent this much time here? Because they are important topics. Lot of controls are there in these 3 screens. Okay. So please understand the importance of every profile option, every checkbox and every field. Note it down in your book or in your document. Okay. And as of now, we discussed about some complex and very, very important topics. So for some time, we will discuss some light topics. Okay. So these are some topics which are in easy to understand. Okay. Hazard classes. Before I explain you hazard classes, I will explain you what are the hazard items. Hazard items are explosive items. Hazard items are explosive items. Okay, when your client is dealing with these kind of explosive items, nothing but chemicals or petrol or gas. Okay, so these kind of fire-related, explosive-related items, then this configuration is required. Otherwise, this configuration is not required. Okay. And when I say hazard, and I should tell you the UN number also. Okay, UN number is a unique number provided to every explosive item. Suppose if you see the petrol UN number, the same is pasted on your tankers also, petrol tankers also. See, if you see this UN number means that means it's carrying some explosive items. and 120 is nothing but it's an immediate identification that it's carrying the petrol. Okay. You see, this will be on the tankers. So if your client is dealing with these kind of explosive items, then in the application, we have to configure the UN numbers. We have to configure UN numbers for those explosive items. These UN numbers is a unique number provided by some organization is there, that organization has provided. And you have to create that particular item. Against that particular item, you have to provide that UN number. Okay. I'll show you the configuration. Procurement and procurement purchasing foundation, right? We are working on the purchasing foundation now. And if you, you see here hazard classes. First of all, we have to create a class. The petrol falls under which class? Flammable liquid. So here you can see in the demo instance, this is demo instance. And here some examples are already there. Flammable liquid, okay, flammable solid, and corrosive material. Okay, so these are the classes that's already created in the demo instance. This is the demo application. In real-time instance, you have to create. Okay, so it's very simple. Just if you click on new, you have to enter the class name and then class description and code. That's it. That's it. It's very simple setup. After that, you have to create a UN number. To create a UN number, there is a separate screen. If you go to UN numbers, and here, suppose for petrol, UN number is what? 1203. Okay. Enter the description and the code, and it falls under which class, which hazard class. It's a flammable liquid or a solid. I am selecting flammable liquid. Okay. And when you're defining the item, in the item master screen, in that screen, again is that item, you can associate that item belongs to which hazard class. You can associate that item to the hazard class at the item definition. Okay, clear? Hazard class UN number is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you have to associate this hazard class to the item at the item level. If I go to product management and if I go to PIN, navigating to manage items. Just wanted to show you the place that we select this hazard class. For better clarity, I'm opening and showing the screens also, team. Okay. Wherever is possible. I'll navigate to the purchasing. Because whatever we are talking about, it's related to purchasing, right? So that will be under purchasing section. You see here, you can associate, suppose if the item is exclusive item, you can associate that respect to hazard class, and you can associate that respect to UN number. Okay, at the time of item definition. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is next? Next topic is buyer assignment rules, an important topic. As of now, I discussed about the configurations that is required for the centralized procurement, right? For the centralized procurement, what are the setups required? Centralized procurement setups, please. If you tell me, then only I'll explain global procurement. Otherwise, I'll skip global procurement. I won't explain.
There will be one procurement BU.
Okay.
So one is like procurement organized structure, managed service provider.
Okay.
Business functions.
అందరు కటింగ్ చేసి చెప్తున్నారు ముక్కలు క్లియర్ క్లారిటీగా ఒక్కరు చెప్పట్లేదు ఒక్క సెటప్ కూడా ఫుల్గా ఏం చేస్తాం వాట్ యు డూ ఇన్ దట్ సెటప్ యూఆర్ జస్ట్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ సెటప్ స్క్రీన్స్ what you do it in that setup also, please explain.
At business function level, we had to set what is our procurement BU. So if you, let's say, for example, you have more than one BU, but you set for all the BUs, procurement option is disabled. And for the major one where you're doing the purchasing, you will set up as a procurement is enabled, so that will be called as a centralized procurement. We can buy the items only from that BU only.
Okay. What else? What are the other setups?
The second setup, suppose in the managed service provider functionality, we have to define the BU because that which is a service provider BU we have to mention.
Okay.
That is the second setup. One more is there.
Okay. I'm not explaining global procurement because there is no point to explain many concepts to you because whatever is already explained you forgot. Then what is the point of explaining new topics? I'm skipping this topic. I'm not explaining. Approved supplier, approved supplier list. I'm moving to the next topic. Okay. Okay. Skipping the topic. Fine.
No.
No. Then tell me.
I have to explain that is a benefit for us.
What?
You are the boss. Okay. The boss is always right.
Centralized procurement. I explained multiple times, sir.
Yeah, that we know that. But sometime
We are beginners, sir.
I'm not a beginner. You are the boss, sir. But
in case of global procurement, okay. in case of global procurement, I think you know what is global procurement. You remember it or you forgot?
Yes,
Condition
yes,
based.
Krishna.
Yeah, it's a condition-based procurement. Okay. Now, in case of global procurement, suppose you're having 3 BUs. Okay. So for these 3 BUs, do we provide procurement business function? Do we
Yes,
provide
we'll set up.
procurement?
Yes. Yes, we will
Yes,
provide.
we'll set up.
We will provide, right? Okay.
Hmm.
In case of centralized procurement, suppose if you're having 3 BUs, do you provide procurement business function to all 3 BUs?
No,
No,
only one BU.
only one BU. You provide only to one BU. Okay. You know, interviewers also can ask questions in this way also. Okay. Now, in case of global procurement, when you say it's a conditional based procurement, where you write the conditions. Where you write the conditions. The conditions we write in the screen. We write in the buyer assignment rules screen. Okay. Let me show you that screen. Procurement, and we are working on the purchasing foundation section. Navigating to purchasing foundation. And I'm clicking on buyer assignment rules screen. So here I'll write the rules. Here in the screen, I'm going to write the rules. So requisition is from China BU. Or I'm selecting US. And if the category, commodity is nothing but category. Okay. So you select some category here. Let me. Suppose for this category for furniture. So if the requisition is created for this category, what should be the procurement BU? Nothing but in which BU the purchase order should be created. What should be the procurement BU here? Right now, you are able to see US only, right? Right now, you are able to see US only. Now, let me go to that relationship screen, the service provider relationship screen. Now you are able to see only one BU for US as a procurement service provider. For the US BU, I would like to add some more BUs as a procurement service provider. Let me show you that setup. And you know that setup already. in a service provider relationship. Okay. On select and add. I'm selecting the USBU. I'm explaining this topic in the demo instance because in the demo instance we have more than one business unit defined. So here for US BU, only one procurement service provider is added here, correct? Correct? Now
Yes.
I'm adding one more BU as a procurement service provider. I'm adding one more. Let's take, I'm adding China as one more procurement service provider. Okay. I have added here. Now I'm saving the screen. Now in the setup in the buyer assignment rules, along with the US, you'll be able to see the China also. Okay, I'm selecting now China. So now what is the condition here? The condition is this one, category is a condition. Suppose from US, if you are creating a requisition for furniture category of items, for furniture category of items, then the purchase order has to be created under which BU? Under the China BU.
China
China.
BU.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is one condition. This
Sir,
is
the
just one
condition here-
condition. Here, I'll take your question, sir. Okay, once I finish my explanation, okay. I'm keeping requisition blank here. The requisition BU, I'm keeping blank here. This means the requisition can be created under any BU. It could be US BU, India BU, or Australia BU, or any BU. If the requisition is created for this category, then the PO has to be created under which BU you can select here. It could be, I'm also selecting China itself. See. The requisition can be from any BU. Can be from any BU. If this for this category, then the PO has to be created under which BU? China BU. Clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Krishna.
So here category is out of these two, one is mandatory. Okay, either BU, you see here 2-star field. 2-star field means out of these two field, one is mandatory. If you enter requisitioning BU, you know not to enter category. If you enter category, you know not to enter requisitioning BU. Not required. Only one is required out of these two, either one. Now you can also add some other conditions combination also. Okay, nothing but supplier. You want to add the supplier also into the condition. You can add. Suppose in the requisition, if this condition is mentioned, nothing but this category is mentioned, and if this supplier is mentioned, then this is under operator. Nothing but in the requisition, the both should exist. This category and this supplier is exist. Then the PO has to be created under which BU?
China BU.
China. Okay. And remaining conditions are disabled here. You see here delivery to our nation, and then amount, it is disabled here because you have removed the requisitioning BU. Suppose if you select requisitioning BU, then that condition will be enabled and it will come into picture to utilize by us. So this is nothing but, suppose if the requisition is created under this BU, if the requisition is amount is more than, if the requisition amount is more than 5,000 USD, If the requisition amount is more than 5,000 USD, then let me remove this condition also. So here, what is the condition here? Only amount is the condition. Amount is the condition. If your requisition amount is more than 5,000, then your PO should be created under which BU? Check here. So select China here. That means if you are creating requisitions below 5,000 US dollars, it will create under USBU only. The PO is created under USBU only. But more than 5,000,
China BU.
China BU. Understood the conditions? The conditions basically category, based on the category, based on the amount, and based on the supplier, and based on the delivery org. Okay. And based on the project code also. Here you see the project code. This is a project code. Based on the project code and based on the cost center, nothing but department. Based on the cost center, based on the department. Okay. Nothing but. So these are the conditions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Totally, how many conditions given by Oracle? 8 conditions. Based on these 8 conditions, what we are doing simply, we are identifying what?
Buyer BU.
We are identifying
Purchasing
the
BU.
Purchasing.
procurement BU. We are identifying the procurement BU. The importance of this setup is to identify the procurement BU for the requisition. Not only that, the importance of this configuration is it will also identify the buyer also. Buyer. Okay. Suppose if it is same BU or if it is a different BU, who is the buyer? It should be assigned to this particular requisition, should be assigned to which buyer. So not only the screen is used to identify the procurement BU, the screen is also used to identify the buyer. Is used to identify the buyer for the requisition. Nothing but after the requisition is created, that requisition will be also automatically assigned to so-and-so buyer. This so-and-so buyer has to process that requisitions. Nothing but this buyer is going to convert that requisitions into purchase orders. Sir, we are not using global procurement functionality. We are using decentralized only. Then the screen configuration is required. Yes, it is required to identify the buyer. To identify the buyer for the requisition. So in case of global procurement, what you are doing, you are identifying the procurement BU. If you don't want to identify the procurement BU, you can identify the buyer for the requisition, right? Okay. Or if you don't want to do these two, you don't want to assign to a procurement BU, or you don't want to assign to a buyer, you can ignore this setup. This setup is not required. It's optional setup. It's an optional setup. That means after the requisition is created, the requisition will not be assigned to any buyer, and that requisition can be processed by any buyer. It will not assign to a specific buyer. It will not assign to you, or it will not assign to me. It is in the process requisition screen. I think, hope you remember. Hope you remember that place. I'm navigating to procurement. And from there, I'm navigating to purchase orders. So here, after the requisition is created, the requisition is going to be in this place for you to process into purchase orders. Let it open. Last 2 minutes, team. Okay, I'll complete this topic and I'll close this session. We are in the middle of the topic, that's why I'm extending the discussion. Okay. Please wait for 2 minutes. So process requisition. So here in this space, you'll see the requisition that is created that are waiting for the process. Okay. If you don't enter any buyer, here you will see the requisitions. Here you will see the requisitions, all the requisitions you'll see. But if you enter a buyer, then you're able to see that buyer specific requisitions. That means the requisitions are already assigned to that buyer. How the requisitions are already assigned to that buyer? Because of this configuration. Understood? Because of
Yes,
this
sir.
setup, we can route the requisitions to the buyers. But if you don't want to route, that's fine. You can leave this setup completely. No need to configure this setup. Then the requisitions will be displayed here. Then buyers can pick up any requisition and they can convert into purchase orders. Any doubts? Buyer assignment rules. The name of the setup is buyer assignment rules. But the purpose is not only assigning the buyer to the requisition, the purpose is to assign the procurement BU also. Yeah, please go ahead with your questions.
Krishna, except for the category, remaining all rules we can define with respect to the
BU,
this one, right?
business unit.
Business unit.
Right. When you select the business unit, then only the other remaining conditions are getting enabled.
Okay, let's say for example, if I have 10 business units, for all 10 business units, I had to set up manually here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can. So in case of global procurement, what are the setups that is required? Global procurement setups. Business functions, right? You have to enable business functions for all the BUs. After that, service provider relationship.
Service provider.
After that,
Requisition business function.
after that, this one, buyer assignment rules.
Buyer assignment.
These three setups are required for the global procurement. In case of centralized procurement, you need these two. And after that, you need, in case of centralized procurement, you don't require this setup for centralized procurement, right? You require which setup in place of this? Requisition business function options. There you will select the procurement BU.
Yes.
So that's all from my side, team. So today is late. My next batch is also waiting. I'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.